Hey, welcome back to Driven Couples. I know we were off for a bit, but we're back. You know, a lot of people missed us, and we just like giving value. We like helping people,
Right.
and we're so happy. You know, like how can you not be happy when you have tax liens, lawsuits, and a lot of haters? That means you're winning big in life. So, like my dream, and I'm gonna let Sil start off really quick. My dream, like
Uh-huh.
my one of my dreams for this year is to have a $50 million tax lien. Like I
Nice.
can't wait. Like, cause right, you know, like when you have, like Mayweather, for example, Mayweather had a $30 million loss. I think he has $30 million tax lien right now, and Mayweather is like a billionaire.
Yeah, he's like
So,
F you
and
money.
I have a friend. I have a friend. You know that I have all these billionaire friends now. I'm not gonna say a name, but I'm talking to one of my friends. He's really wealthy, and he's telling me, you know what? I started off the year good. You know, I have these are rich people problems,
And then he shows
and
you.
he shows me I got a lawsuit for 16 million. I got another lawsuit for another over 10 million. So combined, it's like 20 something million in lawsuits that he's being sued for, and it's rich people problems. Like
Right.
like nobody is gonna sue irrelevant brokies. Nobody.
Well, there's nothing to sue
uh,
for.
like what are they going to sue them for? You just waste time. So look, even when you're super ethical, because that's one of our core values, when you're
Right.
ethical and when you do the right things, you're still going to have people attacking you,
Right.
because that's just part of the game. So you got to take the good with the bad. But we want to get this started here, and I just want to give all of you value. I want to help you grow your businesses. I know some of you are watching on Instagram, some of you are watching on the Zoom, but listen up. Before I send it to Sil, this Saturday, I'm very excited because this Saturday we are having our mastermind number 4, and then we're gonna do another mastermind coming up after that one, mastermind number 5. They're going very well, and I'm not saying this to brag, but it's cool having 10 people show up. You know, everybody pays $5,000.
Intimate. Yeah.
Simple math. It's 50 grand every month. We do it every month. You know, it's good income, but the value that we give these people,
Is
like,
worth more.
is the rewarding part, because
Yeah.
like 50K in a month, like just extra is not, it's not a lot. You know, it's just like, you know, a little bit of money, but it's something that we make easy by helping people. So if you want to make more money, focus on helping more people. And
Right.
look, those 50 grand or those 5,000 that people spend end up converting into millions sometimes, because we do business together, we collaborate, we partner up on things. So it's good, and it's very wise right now. Anybody watching this, if you guys want to grow, if you guys want to be rich, connect with more people.
Mm-hmm.
Go to masterminds, go to seminars,
Right.
go live, post on your social media. Like that's why I am making more money than ever right now. Especially this year started off with a bang. It's so cool, man. Like I had back to back dinners with billionaires, and they paid for my dinner. Like it's like
Albert's
I
used
got
to paying all the
I
bills.
got treated by a billionaire 2 days ago. I got treated by another billionaire yesterday. Like it's life is good, man. Life is good. And if you're watching this, my fanatics, those people that hate, the fanatic haters. Look, the only reason why you hate me is because you want to be with me so bad, but you can't. Sil, what do you have to say
Yes.
about the massive success we are experiencing right now?
I think good things for good people. I consider myself to be a great person. You're an amazing person. That's why I fell in love with you. He's super nice, way nicer than I am, by the way. So, for those of you that think it's the opposite, it's really not. I'm way more firm than he is. He's has the biggest heart, really a huge heart, and he's always focused on helping people. When I met him, he was doing loans, and I got into real estate when I met him, and you were just always great to you still are great to everybody around you, and you're always focused on giving, giving, giving. So what was the question? I lost my bubble of thought.
No questions. We're just talking,
Chit chatting. You
giving
asked me
giving value.
something though.
Oh, mm, how does it feel to
It
be?
feels good.
How does it feel to be like? So, one of the biggest, and you could add to this. One of the biggest things that I've done recently has been valuing my time like more than ever.
Right.
So like I'm fucking lazy. Lazy. Like people ask me, what's your key to success? I'm just fucking lazy. Like I don't like doing things that I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah.
I love doing things that are like high level activities only,
Right.
and then doing things that I love. You know, I love being with my kids. I love like I love well, it's gonna sound weird, but I do love going to Disneyland.
Oh,
The
God.
way we go to Disneyland.
I do
Because
not
the way
like
we go to
going to
Disneyland is
Disneyland.
we get a VIP the VIP tour.
Yeah.
Okay, you pay like $5,000 plus another 1,000 because you got to get it or more, like $7,000 to get it because you got to get 10 tickets apart from paying the $5,000. But then we get a party bus, and then we get like princesses. Like if you guys like the princesses we get, like the one Syl gets, they're like top notch. So we get these princesses. So I get to party with princesses and my daughters. And then we have like a bar in the party bus. We get to Disneyland. We have the VIP tour. Like the way we do it right. You know,
Right.
and it's very like I enjoy those things. And so those things that I love doing, like I want to do those things and only high level activities. So one of the things that I've been doing recently is spending a lot of time and most of my time with people that are high net worth, 100 million plus, some of them billions, you know, and I like that because I learn so much. But what I found out is that, you know, like these billionaires and people that are high net worth, they also like being around me. And it's just crazy, but the advice that I get from them, I go there and I apply it, and then I gather all that data, and then I give it to you. Like that, what I share, what I do, my movements, are things that I've learned from people that are above me. I love being around those people because I learn things
Right.
from them. And one of the biggest mistakes and regrets that I was talking to yesterday with my new friend William Stern, was that one of the biggest mistakes that I made in business was holding on and dragging people for so long.
Right.
Like I was forcing people to be successful. And the thing is that I put so much pressure on these people to be successful because I saw something in them
Right.
that they didn't see in them. So I wanted them to succeed so bad that I was pushing them and dragging them to success. And I should have just cut them sooner and moved on because these people just didn't have what it takes. And they were only successful a little bit while I was dragging them and forcing them to be successful. So that's one of the biggest mistakes I made, just dragging them for so long. When now that we got rid of those people,
We have so much more time.
that used to work for us.
Right.
And like life is so much better. Like the environment, the vibes, the energy here in the headquarters with our companies, like it's just amazing and nothing but quality people. Les Brown tells me
QP.
only quality people allowed. Only quality people allowed. He says a little bit
He
different.
says practice QPO. Quality people only.
Quality people only. So it's more important to focus on quality than quantity. And because, like, for example, we have a mortgage company, right? We're producing X amount. We have another mortgage, and we're like the best mortgage brokerage out there. Like we're the best. Like some people that might be closing a few more loans than us, their compensation plans are dumb. They're stupid. They don't know. They don't have a real boss, a real leader, a real CEO. Because look, guys, before you jump into like, and you want to say things, look, I talk. I have friends. I get mentorship from billionaires, people that created billion-dollar companies. I know how to do that. Some of these people, they have bad compensation plans where their business is not even worth anything. They might be closing extra loans, but they're not even making money.
Right.
So like, what's the whole point of that? And then they have no idea what brand means. They have no idea systems, processes. Like, so, and then they have a bunch of agents that don't produce. I'd rather have less agents that produce, build a solid business with systems, process. I have the best operator right here, and build a business that runs without you.
Right.
All these people that are billionaires, and I say billionaires because I'm passionate about that. That's my next goal, and I'm attacking that right now. But these people, they sleep well, and they work less because they hired people to do all the lazy stuff that they don't want to. They're lazy. They don't want to do that stuff, and they hired people to do that. And then these people have freedom. but they created a business that runs without them. Like these people, the billionaires that I've been hanging out with, Syl, they're lazy. They tell me that they're lazy. They don't like doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I can go on and on with that. But I want to get some questions here. Post your questions on the Zoom. Post your questions on the Instagram. And once again, look, guys, if you want to come this Saturday, before I send this over to Syl, this Saturday, so in one more day or 2 more days, we are having this mastermind. It's all day. It's $5,000. All right. So this is for people that have a business, people that are making at least $250,000 plus. I have people that come to masterminds that are making $1 million in a month. So as long as you make $250,000 plus, and you have 5,000 is pocket change if you have a business, and if you have $5,000 and you're struggling in business, maybe this is what's going to save your business. So come this Saturday. It's 5,000. If you're really serious about it, DM me, send me a message. 5K Mastermind. This is usually a $10,000 ticket, but I'm going to give it to you right now for 5K. I'm going to give you a deal right now. All right. I'm even going to give you my cell phone, and I'm going to work very closely with you. But if you want this, DM me 5K Mastermind right now. DM me 5K Mastermind. I only have a spot here that I'm going to give. So if you guys want it, let me know. And are you excited about the 5K Mastermind?
I am.
I have somebody coming from Guatemala.
I know.
From Louisiana, from New Jersey, from Florida, and from Texas.
I love it.
And from Puerto Rico.
Social media is such a beautiful place if you know how to properly utilize it. It's so much potential, and being able to help people from all over the place is really, really exciting, because these are things that really school can't teach you. It's more based on our experience, from where we were to where we currently are. And then when you think about where we're going, it just gets really exciting, and I love to see Albert excited. And it's so funny because I asked him the other day, sometimes we don't realize, or it takes time to realize, that you have a bunch of like vampires around you. These are people that suck you dry, your energy, and we had a couple recently, and I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking? Like, sometimes things have to happen forcefully for you to be like, shit, what was I thinking? Was I even thinking? Why would I entertain such a personality? Normally people that are a pain in the ass or low producers and very high maintenance, stay away from people like that in your business anytime. Drama queens, just cut them. Like I told Albert, I'm gonna take the red flags quicker and acknowledge the fact that it's a red flag, and majority of the time we can't connect the dots forward, but we could connect the dots backwards. And when I think back, I'm like, shit, there was a problem there for like about a year. How and why it dragged along this much? Again, because we're trying to force people to be successful. You cannot force people to be successful. You have to really want to be successful. And something about us is that we want other people to win so bad that sometimes we drag them along too much. And the reality is that some people, you have to cut them off, let them get better, and sometimes you can go back and pick them up. Tim's story taught me that. There's other people that they just messed up their opportunity to be in your life, because at least us, I know it's like we have a really cool life. So, people that are part of it, it's exciting. It's we create opportunities and experiences for
like
people.
Think about our day yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, what did we do yesterday? And I made a lot of money yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm making more money than ever now. It's so easy. Like before I was like, I'm gonna make $67. Then I'm gonna make 2,000. Now I'm like making $100,000 like daily, easy, as a side hustle, guys. This is not even it's not even my businesses. Because remember, I'm not a coach. I don't make millions coaching. I do, but that is just a side business. I make my millions because I have businesses. So my businesses make me millions. If I stop coaching, if I don't coach, I still make millions because I have businesses. I was talking to one of my friends, Edwin Arroyabe, earlier. Mm-hmm. We're talking about that. He was like, man, I'm so proud of you, how you started Driven and all this. But listen, the story that I was getting into is yesterday. So yesterday, my day, I made a lot of money yesterday, and this is what I did, okay? I worked out, important thing. I spent a little bit of time with my daughters in the mornings. I did my live for 1 hour, which was fun. I like doing a live with my PJs at home. Then I came in and worked out. And then when I finished working out, I met while I'm working out, I meet with accounting, processing, and other departments, marketing. So I get it done here at the office, and I have my laptop when I'm working out. That's why I don't go to Equinox, because I get too many distractions. I like working out in my office gym right here. When I'm done with that, I shoot a 2-hour podcast. This very successful, wealthy man, William Stern, he's the founder and CEO of Cardiff Bank. This company, and they're worth a lot of money. Look it up. Do your research. Very successful guy. He's my friend now, and we're going to do a lot of things together. And so we do a 2-hour podcast. He wants to interview me because he found me on social media, and he wants to know my story. This goes on 2 hours. He's interviewing me, and we're chit-chatting, and then we go to Javier's, and we spend 3 hours in Javier's, again, talking, masterminding. He pays the bill. He invited me, and I'm not really used to a lot of people paying my bill. He paid
Just
the bill,
me.
and we're having drinks, So I was having some drinks with my friend William. Then we're done like at 7:30. This was my day, by the way, yesterday, and it was a very productive day, fun. And then I'm getting out of there, and I'm like, you know what? I have my full team at the office. I got Frankie, Jared. I got a few others. I'm like,
Good vibes.
I'm obligated to go back to the office. I'm gonna go back to the office. I want to spend some time with them.
What was I doing?
Because and then Syl is paying like $400. She corrected me. I thought it was $300, but it's
$365
for $365 for a lashes girl to come to our headquarters and do her eyelashes.
But don't I look
in,
beautiful?
In the comfort, you absolutely do. In the comfort of our locker room here at our headquarters, while I am here back at the office having some drinks with my top performers, with some of my co-owners too that earn ownership for the company. So that was my day. Fun, like it was so fun. And then these are rich people problems. Then obviously me and Syl are drinking, so we're not gonna drive. So we leave the Ferrari, the Rolls Royce here, and then we get driven to our office, right? And then we get driven to our house, and then this morning, like one of our assistants picks up our Ferrari because I need it, takes it to the house so that I can drive the Ferrari back to the office in the morning. This is the life we have. So and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And then everything we do, we love. Like tomorrow, some guy's gonna be here from Puerto Rico. We're gonna shoot a podcast. And then later on, I'm gonna be with some really, really famous people. Like it's cool. Like I love my life, and get it and get this. When you become more successful, you're gonna have more haters. It's normal. You're gonna have more lawsuits. It's normal. Like I can't wait till I get more lawsuits. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more liens. More. Hopefully, I get like a $100 million tax lien, because that means I'm making like $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that's a good problem to have. I'm very, very excited. Life is amazing, and then our girls are getting big. Italia is 2 years ahead ahead in her school.
Yeah.
And Italia,
She's so smart.
she's learning marketing, sales. She learns operations when she comes to the office, like once or twice a week. She sees how we operate different departments. So life is good.
It is good. It's good. It's a blessing to be alive. For me, last year was crazy. It opened up my eyes to just realize that life is the most precious thing that we have. Our time is the most precious thing. And I already knew that, but with my grandma passing away, which is like my second mom, I always say this, I'm like sitting there. I've never experienced the death before, and I'm like watching her go down, or whatever, being buried, and I'm like, you don't take anything. You do not take anything with you, right? So for me, it was just like a shift and a reminder that I want to be happy, dude. Like, so I refuse to put up with ungrateful, shitty people, like, period. Like, the first red flag I get moving forward, like, cut. Like, you're just cut out of my life. And the thing is, Albert, because I asked you, I know how different the conversations are, but he's been getting very close to very uber successful people. And I was telling him, how different is it than sitting with someone that thinks he's all that, has no clue what the hell he's basically not the brightest person in the world. And we're over here forcing them to be better. But I'm like, how different? Like, was it a totally, he's like, Syl, it doesn't even compare. Like, it's painful sitting with people that don't get it, or that they think they get it, or like they make a little bit of money and their ego blows up. And it's like, no, that's just temporary. Business, life in business has ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster, but having conversations and being exposed to people like that, like, it's just a game changer, right? You've always been great at that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then you know what William told me yesterday, that everybody that left him and they tried to like compete with him,
Yeah.
or they try to be like him, they all failed miserably, like
Of
quick.
course. It takes a lot.
Because it takes there's the very few of the very few that are entrepreneurs
True
that can
entrepreneurs.
build something big.
Right.
Like most people are not. And that's okay. Like some of you, most people are confused entrepreneur. So you're a confused entrepreneur. You think you're an entrepreneur, but you're not. You're an entrepreneur where there's nothing bad. You just work better with an entrepreneur. You need a leader. You need a CEO.
Yeah.
You could get equity of that company, and you could grow together, and you could end up making the same money, but you didn't have to build it from scratch. And when
Right.
you want to build something from scratch, the very few of the very few are the William Sterns, the Neil Patels, the Albert Preciados, and then also sometimes like people want to, I see like girls or guys that they think, oh, you know what, I'm gonna be the power couple. Or more girls, they think they're gonna be like the Syl. I'm gonna be the operator. I'm gonna be the COO, and they think they have that, but they don't have any marbles in their head. Like they're like, you're not
It's
a
worth
Syl.
a shot.
You don't have what it takes, girl. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and I think it's just God taking care of good people. So because we've been so good in giving, like we make
Always.
a difference in the world,
Yeah.
and we improve people's lives.
Yeah.
Like that's why people keep showing up to our events. That's why we're going on Driven 8. That's why the Mortgage Guys has been active in business for 11 years. That's why Ambiance Realty has been active in business for 9 years. That's why we opened a new company, Conquer Escrow. It's already been 2 years active in business. So there is a reason why that's happening. And then also what I tell people, hey, watch the source of your advice. Like there is a reason why some of these people are giving you advice, or maybe they're talking shit about people that are successful.
Right.
And these people have a shitty life. They don't even like just look at the way they look. They don't even get ready. They don't even take a shower. They just are miserable. They don't have any money in their bank account. They're behind on all their bills. And listen, these people are giving you advice. Don't pay attention to them. There's a reason why maybe like Albert, why is he having dinners? Why are his friends very mega successful? Maybe because Albert is right. So pay attention and watch the source of your advice, because there's a lot of bad people out there giving bad advice,
Right.
and there's very few people giving the best advice. Watch the source of your advice.
Well, you can't be easily influenced, and this is why it's so important to know yourself, to know what you're about. Me personally, I've never been easily influenced. I'm like, if I know someone or I know something, or if I believe in something, like, I don't care what you think or what you believe. Like, we're all entitled to our own opinion and beliefs, but I was talking to Patty the other day. It was so funny. And I'm like, I don't care. Because sometimes people will tell me things. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I unfollow people in real life, and I don't need fake accounts. Like, I'm just done with you, right? But it's funny because Patty and I were talking, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? I'm like, you can't look like shit and talk shit at the same time. You can't.
That's a good
At
quote.
least dress up if you're going to talk shit about
You can't
someone.
look like shit and talk shit about
Yeah,
people.
it's so weird. I'm like, I don't know if now social media is just exposing how people are, like all these trolls and all these haters and all these fake people. Because my brother sent me a quote that Mike Tyson said, that people are so brave over social media, but try and say that to somebody's face and watch how quickly you get punched in the face, because people are so brave online. I'm just like, whoa, everybody jumps to conclusions. I see some comments sometimes, I'm like, damn, like, no, just savages all over the place. And it's just a crazy world, but ultimately doing the right thing always wins. And just pay close attention. You can tell a lot by how people carry themselves, if they're doing good or not. And most people are just miserable. So we made a choice to be so positive that negative people cannot. They either have to fix themselves to be able to thrive with us, or you repel them because they're so miserable and negative. Because we are all just energy, simply energy, you know. And for me, I'm like, I like to be around winners, like people that are doing good, people that understand, they have high expectations, high hopes, high standards, you know, because if you don't hold high standards, you're going to go hang out with other people that aren't doing good. And then you all pretend you're doing good, but you guys even hate each other. And it's the weirdest thing for us. I'm like, it's crazy. Like when we see someone like Frankie, like thriving and killing it, you know, he was helping Kata the other day. And I just love that. Like I love an environment of winners because you either have to level up or you just got to get out of the way. You know, it's hard being a badass. It's hard being a winner, right? If it wasn't hard, everybody would be winning and everybody would be badass. But the reality is that you have to have high standards for yourself, for the people around you, who you allow in your environment, because misery loves company. So you got to be very, very careful with that. We learned that early on, a long time ago, about vampire personalities. So we can identify it pretty quickly. Some people are very good at masking it. But then when I think back, I'm like, man, well, that was a red flag. Oh, that was a red flag. That was a red. Well, that's when that person should have been cut. Because the reality is that people panic in advance, and then they're going to show you their true colors. And then you realize, okay, when for us, things are amazing still because we have so many businesses and so many flows of income. But I understand that, you know, if you only rely on one source of income, you might be scared, so you betray your people that always had your back. And it's just crazy. Like, I just feel like last year was our worst and our best year ever. And I say worst because my grandma, but everything happens for a reason, you know, and I feel like God puts everything where it belongs. So you have to act accordingly. This reminded me of you. I saw something on Instagram that said that, I don't know, Jesus or whoever doesn't show you have the vision and you know where you're going. And the reason you don't know the steps to get there is because if we knew how hard it is to get to massive, massive success, you know, how many betrayals, how much people are going to talk bad about you, you know, a lot of people would just say, nah, never mind. I don't want to go through all that. Because anytime you go through any betrayal or hard time, it's to make you better for what's coming, you know. So for us, I don't know, last year was just wild, 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 wild. But I'm happy nonetheless, blessed.
Yeah, and you know what we're doing right now. I have a project in the works that we're finalizing, but we're taking Driven nationwide. So we're gonna be in 13 cities. One of those cities I'm gonna give you,
States.
no cities.
Oh, cities.
Well, one of those cities is gonna be what's the same thing, cities or states? But one of those cities is gonna be San Juan, Puerto Rico. So it's gonna be in San Juan, and we're gonna be doing this Driven event every month. Yeah,
Every
and
month.
and I'm backed by a
Big
really
people.
successful big person. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. So there is a lot of things in the works. I mean, we're gonna be for sure billionaires in 3 years, like easy. and what I'm doing in 3 years is in 3 years, like I'm buying a jet cash, and it's a really nice jet. And what I'm gonna do in 3 years is we're gonna go fly. Like I want to fly. I want to take a year off and fly fly all over the world. And
Months we're going to be trying to come back, watch.
I think in 4 days or 5
I
days
think
for
like
me.
4 months,
But
yeah.
but we're gonna fly. I want to fly to Europe and visit all the cities with my daughters, my wife. I want to take some of my friends with me, and I also want, like, we're gonna pop like Dom Perignon on the plane, on the jet.
No more
Then-
Voof?
then-
Oh, once
then-
you're a billionaire, no
then,
more
then we're
Voof.
gonna go. Well, Voof is like our
Signature drink. We've been drinking it since our apartment here in West Hollywood. I found pictures.
Yeah, but Voof is like our, like, kind of like our tap. It's like our tap
You
water.
saw? Yeah.
Voof is like our tap water.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like Dom Perignon is like, you know, we drink it, but we don't drink. It's not our tap. But you guys get the point.
La, la, la.
We're gonna have a great time, and we're gonna fly. I want to go also to South America, and just visit a lot of places like that, and take our friends with us, because how fun is life without your friends winning?
Right. Well, that's why when you have winner friends, you're going to be a winner. And most people, it's so hard to become a winner. It's so challenging. And you have to personally develop so much that people prefer to be average, hang out with average people, and just be average their whole life. So, again, nothing wrong with that. But you do not you cannot hate on people that have the life that you want because you're not willing to change what needs to change so that you can acquire the lifestyle that you want, right? Because today I went to go see Andrew's property. So obviously you guys know I started off as a realtor. The only thing I did before I got into real estate was I was a bartender and a waitress. So first waitress, then bartender, and then I got into real estate. So people, I've always loved people. I just love people in general. Like I love humans, and that sometimes gets me in trouble because I ignore the red flags. I'm like, oh, she didn't mean that. So it reminded me of how far we've come because I was at that property by USC, and it's a duplex. You know, one of our marketing guys got qualified, bought his property, and we were helping him with everything, the whole permits, ADU, everything, the remodel. And it was just so nice. And it just reminded me that we've been busting our ass for 16 plus years. You more. Because when I met him, you were already in the industry for how long? 4 years? Since 21?
Longest. Well,
yeah, like 4 years.
You met me 2007-ish?
Yeah.
I started 2005, so yeah.
Yeah.
Like
18 years, more or less. And then when I say busting our ass, I mean busting our ass.
21 years for me because I started in real estate when I was 19. I just didn't have a license. But I was already like learning and practicing it.
Right. So what does this tell you? It takes years. It takes so long, and everybody wants everything overnight. So, you know, just understand that whatever life you want, make sure you're working daily towards it. I would say learning how to say no is a big one for us because sometimes, like, we would have our training. Like, yesterday was perfect. I don't know if you noticed, but, like, everything's just perfect now. It's weird.
Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
Like, the energy here, like, tell me, what mortgage brokerage, what mortgage company in general do you have? Or real estate brokerage do you have where you never know what billionaire is going to show up to your facility, to your office? You never know what celebrity is going to show up. Like we have people, highly important people that show up here on the day-by-day basis. Like people just show up, and then sometimes there are people are like, wow, and then people are welcome to come in live during the podcast. People like our agents come in and they want to hear it. They want to learn. But I think for the mortgage guys and Ambiance Realty, the biggest value we give you is the mentorship. Mm-hmm. Like you learn from us. Like we're not a little brokey company that you're gonna get the highest split and that's it. No value. Like we give you mentorship. We give you the culture. We give you the environment. We give you like the leadership. You don't get that, and that has a price. You know, you got to pay. Like think about it. I'm not gonna go to Patrick Bet-David and be like, hey Patrick, can I pick your brain for free? Like you got to pay to play. And here being part of the mortgage guys and Ambiance Realty, you get that for free because you're part of the company. But you got to earn it. I'm not gonna say like, hey, everybody that joins, you know what, I'm gonna be with you one-on-one. No. You got to earn it. So that's why, like yesterday, for example, like I know that it's a Wednesday. We have our training. I left with my friend. We're doing my super successful friend. And then I saw my guys, you know, that are still here and some girls too. And they're here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm obligated to come back. And not because I'm obligated, but I feel I feel I'm obligated to come back because I want to spend time with them. But I also want to because our people are good people. And we got rid of all the shitty people already. Yeah,
it's part of life, you know. Part of life. So what's our next topic?
Somebody said, is it a good idea to get your real estate license in 2024?
You answer that.
Yeah, why not? 100%. Oh, what was the question?
So is it a good time to get a real estate license for 2024?
100 million %. You have to be really willing to work hard because most people just want it to be easy, but it's not going to be easy, especially not your first, second, or third year in the business. You got to build your database up. You have to build up your clientele, right? And the first couple are the hardest, I would say, first 5 clients. After that, it's pretty simple if you're a quick learner and if you're good with people, you're a good communicator. But if you're willing to work hard, all you need is a little bit of training, you know, and with a little bit of training, more than anything, you need a lot of action because you have to be actively prospecting about 5 hours a day minimum, you know, door knocking, open houses, cold calling. It just depends on what works for you. So when you're a newer agent, you know, you have a lot of options because the world is a lot different now than it used to be when I started. So, you know, maybe not door knocking, maybe cold calling, maybe open houses, maybe social media. You just have to figure out what works for you.
So right now, Sil, like if you go hard on your social media,
I am.
if you go hard like me, like
Yeah.
if you go hard, imagine if you were doing a live 1 hour in the mornings and 1 hour in the nights, and you were pumping out content 5 times a day, like we will be billionaires in a year and a half if you do that. Because right now the biggest thing is a brand.
Yeah.
And the way we're gonna destroy Rocket Mortgage and EXP Realty is because I'm uniting with mega wealthy people that are gonna get a piece of the company, and they're gonna get a few other things, and they're gonna help us destroy those people. Because look, our competition is Rocket Mortgage. It's EXP Realty. It's not little people. It's the big Goliaths. And how do you destroy them? You need high mega wealthy investors that are gonna invest in technology and in softwares and in different things that I can't mention right now. But listen, what do I have? What do we have that Rocket Mortgage and EXP Realty don't have? Latino American millennial leaders. All right? Let me repeat it for you. Latino American millennial leaders. All right? In 5 years, in 10 years, this country is going to be dominated by Latino Americans. All right? Millennials right now. And why? It's the biggest population right now, and it's going to be even bigger every year moving forward. So 70%, just so you guys know, Google it. 70% of all the homeowners in 2040 are going to be Latinos. So they don't have that. And listen, when I think about like Driven, what do I want to do with Driven? I want to change the world. That's why I want to go nationwide to start. But who do I think about when it comes to like, who is our competitor? There's only one, and the name is Tony Robbins. What is different between Tony Robbins and myself? I am Latino. And if you pay attention, like look at Patrick Bet-David, not to something that's more that a lot of us can relate more, right? Patrick Bet-David, he sold his company, right? His company, I think, was it 70% or 60% of his company? Actually, 70%. We can get the correct data. Were Latinos in his company. I think 60% or 66% were Latinos in his company, and the other, and like 14% were African American. And why? Like there's the country is there's so many minorities that are making a big difference. So for me, I'm inspired to help people that can see themselves in me, because a lot of people come to me and they're like, "Hey Albert, I was getting mentorship from Grant Cardone, but you know what? I don't relate to him that much. I relate more to you because you're Latino, you're Mexican. You know, you were an ESL student, former ESL student. You were special ed. You struggled. You started from nothing. You and Syl, you built something from nothing. And you guys, I relate more to you. So I'm gonna switch over from Grant to you, Albert, because if you were able to do it and you're Mexican and you didn't even speak English, then you give me hope. I'm one of you. I can do it too. So that's what I'm more inspired about, helping my community. You know, my people. Like I want to create as many millionaire minorities that I can possibly create.
Right. And that's a great feeling to be able to help and give back to, you know, anybody that needs help, not just Latinos or millennials or whatever. You know, for me, it's just helping anybody that needs help. Absolutely anybody. Because, you know what, we don't know. And then when we don't know any better, we can't do better. But when we know better, we have to do better. It's just the way that life works, you know. And I personally think that we have changed a ton of lives through Driven, you know, and it's pretty amazing, especially when we see people that kind of, you know, they stray off and then they come back and they're like, no, like I just need this in my life. You know, you guys have completely changed my life. And I don't think there's a better feeling than someone thanking you for helping them change their life and be able to reach the dreams that they have for themselves, for their families, right? Whatever that looks like. We're all different and we're all entitled to be, we have the right to be in whatever we want to be. You know, as long as you're not hurting other people, who cares? You know, do what you want, do what makes you happy. Stop trying to please other people, because at that point, you're not even happy with yourself. So, you know, that's something that I learned from him, because he really doesn't care what anybody thinks about him at all, ever. It's pretty crazy.
Well, you can't create and hate at the same time. So when
Right.
somebody sends me a screenshot, or they tell me, "Hey, look at what this person's saying about you," I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah!" I'm like, it's another score, because people are talking about me. I'm not talking about them. I don't even remember them, by the way, like, because I move on quick.
Yeah.
Like I don't even remember the names of people that used to be in my life. Like, I really don't, because I don't think about them 1 second. I'm so
Right.
focused on creating. And when you hate, you can't create. You can hate and create at the same time. I focus on creating. So I'm creating. I don't got time to hate. It's a waste of time.
Energy.
And by the way, if you're watching this and you're one of the people that maybe dislikes me or
I think they
left
love
me,
you.
I wish you the best. I seriously do. Like, if you're watching this right now, take some notes. I wish you the best. Watch my content. You know, continue to, like, stay close to me. Watch my content. Keep being a fanatic, but learn something from it and then apply it. But it's not for everybody. You know, like, and I was talking to William yesterday, and then he said something about, he asked me a question. He said, "Albert, what is one thing you regret that you could have done differently in the last 10 years, 20 years? I said, "William, I should have thought bigger." And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I should have thought way bigger than I did. I should have went bigger. I should have taken more risks. I should have just..."
Move faster. We move pretty
and,
fast,
and,
though.
and then you connect that backwards. I just wasted so much time, like, just forcing, helping certain individuals that they just didn't want to help. They didn't
don't
want
have
help
what it
themselves.
takes.
They
Right.
didn't want help. They just didn't want to do it. And it's because, if you think about it, so it's a lot of pressure to be big.
I agree.
You know, to think big, it's a lot of pressure, and it's not for everybody. But I'm so pumped up with all these new relationships, and when William was leaving yesterday, before we left to Javier's, you saw that we got on the whiteboard and we started doing some numbers.
Right.
He was telling us how easy it's gonna be. Well, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take some time, but how easy, it's not complicated to take down a Rocket Mortgage. We were talking about that, because we have the secret weapon, and same thing with these other companies. It's just that I always say things, but I back them up, and that's something you get from me that might be different to your liking or to other people. Or if you want to compare me, like, I simply, what Syl said, I don't give a shit if you don't like me or if you like me. But I say things publicly. I put it in the air because I cast a vision. Like, mark my words. I put it on my life. Mortgage guys will knock down Rocket Mortgage, and Ambiance Realty will knock down EXP Realty. Mark my words. I put it on my life. It's gonna happen. It's for sure. I'm very pumped up about that.
He is. He gets very passionate. And I believe you.
Somebody said, when is the next event?
Event?
So the next event is this Saturday. Like I said earlier today, if you guys are free, and you guys have $5,000, it doesn't matter where you're from. I just had a video. Somebody sent me a video from Louisiana that is coming. Somebody today is coming from Guatemala, huh? She's in Spanish, so she
We
doesn't
should have a
understand
Spanish
English.
one.
Ask her if she understands English. But look, if you want to be very successful, guys, listen, you gotta learn English. And look, yes, I might sound maybe sometimes too hard for people, but you gotta learn English. If you don't learn English, you're not gonna get to that next level. You're not gonna be filthy rich. You gotta learn English. If you don't know English, force yourself to learn English. You know, like just knowing Spanish is not gonna make you rich. You got knowing Spanish is a plus, but you gotta learn English if you want to be big here in the U.S. So this Saturday we're having the mastermind. It's $5,000. So it's $5,000. If you want to come, DM me 5K Mastermind. Send me a comment, 5K Mastermind. It's $5,000 and it's for business owners that are making at least 250K a year, a $250,000. If you're doing that, I promise you, I'm gonna help you. You're gonna get 100 times your value. All right, if you come here this Saturday, it's $5,000. If they don't feel they got value, Syl, I'll give them back 6,000. You get that? I'm gonna pay you $1,000. So I feel that confident that if you come here, you pay $5,000 and you don't think it was worth it, I will give you back $6,000. That's how confident I am. So that's the next event that we're having, our mastermind, 5K Mastermind. We are having the business boot camp. We are having the driven event 8 years. So that's coming later. But the next event is in our headquarters, $5,000, the 5K Mastermind. We only have, we don't even have a space, but we'll make a space for you if you're serious. Now, Syl, I want to ask you a question, though.
Ask me.
How did you become so good with operations? Because today a couple ladies from my coaching that I did, they want to come to the mastermind because they want to be a Syl. So they said, my husband works hard, my husband runs a business, makes good money, but I want to be a Syl. Like, I want to help my husband the way Syl helps you. Like, what do you have to say about that? How does somebody become a Syl? And how did you become a Syl?
So, how did I become Syl? So I had a lot of responsibility early on with there's 5 of us. I'm the oldest. So I always had to figure out things, logistics, food, absolutely everything that you guys could imagine, just like a mom would for their kids, right? So for me, with him, we started from the very bottom, meaning he was a loan originator and I was a realtor. So I know all the ins and all the outs, right? So for me, it just kind of comes naturally. But I would say if you want to help your spouse and jump into the business, make sure you understand absolutely everything from the most minimal thing to the biggest thing in the business, how it works, how the revenue comes in, what softwares, what you need, how you keep track of everything, and it's just a willingness. And then you have to learn how to work together because we basically do everything together. It's pretty crazy, except he has different responsibilities than I do in our business and at home. So,
but I think we keep our distance here in the office.
Well, now because we have separate offices.
You're in one corner, I'm in another corner.
Right.
Like, we're never together here in the office.
Right.
Like, sometimes we don't even talk in the office.
Right.
But it's because the main thing, Syl, is that me and you, we started winning at a higher level, much higher level, when you accepted and I accepted that we have completely different roles, and I'm only gonna stick to my roles, and you're only gonna stick to your roles, which yours are operations and mine's are like the vision, the CEO duties.
Yeah, I'm bringing in revenue. So yeah, and again, it's just proper communication, understanding the business, and making sure that you're the opposite of your spouse. So there's a couple tests you guys have to take just to see if you're an integrator or like what type of personality you are, visionary, integrator, because if you don't know those two things, you can have 2 of the same thing and then it doesn't work. Him and I are basically, I don't want to say opposites because we're very similar, but his strengths are not mine and mine are not his. So then together we're perfect. We're a perfect match. And he still gets on my nerves sometimes. So that's another
I get on
thing.
a lot of people's nerves.
Yeah. You have to learn how to have those conversations. And I think once we stopped interfering with each other's decision making and roles, I think everything just became so much more simple because I just run what you say and you run with what I say because we already have that trust in each other.
Yeah.
So I think that was very helpful for us. And just, along the way, you just change certain things. Like when you have kids, everything becomes a little more challenging. And we have a lot of help and it's still sometimes challenging because we're outnumbered at that point with 3 kids. So for us, it's just a matter of being a team. Teamwork makes the dream work, and we are very much a team. And we just respect one another. Again, we're not perfect, so I've never said we're perfect, but we're very close to perfect, and we just love each other, respect each other, and we kind of like the same thing. So we're very dangerous together as well because he doesn't stop me and I don't stop him, and then it's like a disaster and we're like, oh my God. So yeah, it's crazy.
We are known to leave exotic cars all over the place.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, and we
Wally.
have Wally right here that's in charge of picking them up wherever we leave them.
You just put gas in my car, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something big, guys. Like once you start growing to a certain degree, you have to start investing in
Help.
in help. Because remember that rich people buy time, and poor people waste time.
Right.
So let's say there's a couple here. You know, you have kids, and you want to take care of the kids. You want to work from home, and then you have
Not
one
possible.
car, and then you have to like one takes the car, one picks up the car, then one takes the. So you cannot work with kids. Like you need you. And the thing is, because these people have a brokey mindset, so they're brokies.
Right.
So because they're brokies, they're like, no, I'm gonna save money, and I can't afford a nanny. I'm gonna take care of the kids. You go work, then you take care of the kids. I go work. Like you have to invest. You can't be a brokey. So stop being a brokey, and hire a full-time nanny. That way you can go out there and produce more income. So if you
Right.
produce more income, then you're gonna be able to afford the nanny, and you're gonna be able to make more income. Make sense? So let's just say that you're a realtor and you're closing. X amount of deals. Okay, you're closing 3 deals a month, or actually, let's just say you're closing 1 deal a month. So you're closing 1 deal a month, and I can see that's why you have the brokey mindset. Maybe you're not closing some deals some months, but if you hire a full-time nanny, then you're gonna have your full-time nanny, and then you're gonna go out there and then you're gonna close 3 deals. So now you're gonna close 3 deals instead of 0 or 1. Now you're gonna have 2 extra deals that are gonna provide you extra income. With that income, you pay the nanny,
Right.
and you have some left. Now you're gonna make more money. Now you could also hire an assistant, which is gonna allow you to close maybe 5 deals. So now you're getting all these extra deals that you weren't closing before because you freed up your time. People that are rich, they buy time by hiring
Right.
more people. People that are brokies, they want to save every penny because they have a brokey mentality, and you're never going to get out of the rat race. So if you want to get out of the rat race, you got to stop being a brokey, and you got to start spending money and hiring more help.
Well, I remember when we were brokies. Remember? We used to spend like 2 hours washing our car.
I'm still broke. I'm always broke.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
broke
but
right now.
you remember when we used to wash our car and then we would go to the gym,
Yeah.
come back, wash our car, shower, get ready, go to appointments.
But why? Because we were surrounded around people that had that small mindsets, yeah.
Right.
And now like I go to all my friends, you know, they just don't allow certain things. They'll call you out on your bullshit. Like, come on, this is not a brokey circle. It's not the brokey circle. This
Right.
is like this is the winner's circle, not brokies. You know, like
What do they cut you out on?
like if you want to split bills, they're like, you fucking idiot. We don't split bills right here. You know, I pay it or you pay it. We don't split bills. Like if you're
How about when the people go hide when the bill comes? That's the worst. You don't ever go
don't
out with those
associate
people
yourself
again.
with those people. But what's another thing? When you go eat, you know, you make sure that you tip well. You know, like if you buy, like let's say you go to Javier's and you spend $500, fucking tip $500, match it, pay 1,000, like tip the full.
At least do the 25%. You don't have to be so extra. And, you know, you can, if you get good customer service, that's a reality. The broker, the realtor, the waiter can make
Last time
biggest
for fun,
impression.
but last time for fun, I just gave everybody $100.
Right. He did at Valet.
I was just giving the $100 to people at the mall. Like
Yeah.
and trust me, that gets back to you. So like even when I don't have money and I'm broke, I still give people like money, and then more money comes my way. Like it's just a magical formula. Like you got to give in order to get.
Right. That's 100% true. And a lot of people, you know, they're just very, you don't know until you know. That's the reality of it, you know. But for us, we're always searching for more and more information. How could we be better? How could we get around better people, right? Because if you're the smartest person in your circle, that's why people stay the same. And if you're staying the same, you're getting worse, you're dying. So if you're not growing, you're dying. And for us, we're always growing. We're always getting into different things. The other day I was telling Albert, I'm like, fuck, dude. We have a lot of shit that we do. And this is me, you know, again, funerals, we have no control of when they happen, and then everything just happens at once. But I was telling him, man, we have a big ass team and it's still hectic. Do you agree? Like, we need so much help because we do so much that I can't even imagine not having one of the people.
But that's why we
have.
make so much money, because
Right.
we delegate everything that's not worth our hour, and we only focus every minute, every hour on high level activities.
Right.
So that's why all these people, they don't grow. They're brokies because they're
They stay
doing
like
everything.
that.
They want to do everything to save every penny. You're not gonna get far like that. You gotta invest in time. You gotta buy time,
Right.
create time. How do you create time? So think about it. If you hire 10 people and each of them work 8 hours, that's 80 hours a day plus your hours. So if you're working 10 hours and they're working 8 hours each, right? That's gonna be 90 hours. 80 hours that they're working that you bought plus your 10 hours. So that's 90 hours that you're working a day. Imagine how much money you can make if you work 90 hours a day versus if you only work 24 hours in a day. Like, even if you don't sleep, you work 20, you're limited to 24 hours because you can't create another hour in a day. It's
Right.
24 hours. But if you hire people, people are assets or liabilities. If you hire an employee and they're a liability, you got to fire them because they're not productive. So hiring people, employees, are either assets or liabilities. If they're liabilities, it just means they're a bad one. So fire them and replace them with an asset. So you got to hire more people in order to be worth more, in order to make more money. That's how all these big companies are created, by people. Reach more people. So it's just something so basic.
So basic and so hard at the same time. You agree?
Somebody said, how do you deal with each other's family?
Families in what way?
Albert answered this one. They just said, how do you deal with each other's family?
So, at least for us, you know, it's always hard.
You could answer yours and I'll answer mine, and then we'll end it.
Yeah, so we'll be quick because we're at 56 minutes. This is an hour podcast. So, it's really setting clear boundaries, right? That shouldn't be crossed, because something that I've come across, at least, like la suegra, you know, everybody's like, oh, my mother-in-law, whatever. You know, and for us, it was a lot of communication because that's still her son and it's always going to be her son. So, like, I like to remind her, and I'm sure him with my mom, like, there's just these rules that this is our house. So, if your opinion's asked for, you know, you give it. And if it's not, you don't. You know, and what do I mean by this is it's our kids. We have certain rules in place for them, you know, and grandma and grandpa and people like that come in and they want to make up for lost time that they didn't have with their own kids. So, you know, we're very clear and very open communication. We've had issues in the past, which now are perfectly fixed, because the minute that you realize, so when there's hard times, you always know who's really there for you and who isn't, right? And obviously our parents are always going to be there. You can be left with no one and nothing, and your mom is always going to be there for majority of the time. So for me, it was just that, just understanding that this is her son always. And, you know, I'm very kind when I politely decline any type of input where my rules have already been put in place based on the result and the way I want to raise my children, right? Because it's her grandkids, but it's my kids. So, you know, making that super clear, I think, is important.
I mean, working with family works for us, but it's like, and like, I mean, our kids, we like them to be around family. You know, we don't want them. I just don't
Trust.
I don't trust like a stranger. So like I like it when my kids are with you know, they have their security at all times, but they have grandpa and grandma, or they have aunt.
Auntie Evelyn.
And those are our
Grandma,
they watch
grandma.
our kids, so we trust them more than a stranger. But that's that. Now, a way that I am is like I practiced a lot my communication. I know a lot. I'm good with psychology. Like I know how to communicate very very well to get what I want to get, and then when I communicate with when you communicate with your parents or family, you know, there's certain ways to communicate to get the best results, and some people just don't have their communication right. So when you deal with family, you got to communicate with them differently than when you communicate with employees or when you communicate with friends or when you communicate with higher level people. And,
Right.
and I remember like just to give a little bit more value here, the first time that I was with a super successful person, I sucked. I didn't communicate well and I messed up. But guess what? I did it anyways. And you get better with practice. Like everything in life, you get better with practice. So when you are around a lot of these high level, high net worth people, you're practicing with them all the time. So everything gets easier and easier and easier. And then all of a sudden, like 40 years later, like you're worth all these millions of dollars. But people don't realize, damn, you know what? It's not an overnight success. They've been at this for the longest. Like me and Syl have been busting our asses for, decades.
Year after year after year after
So like
year.
I've been doing that since I was 20 years old. 2 decades. I've been busting my ass, 18-hour work days, just going hard, nonstop. And yeah, was I perfect? No. I did a little bit of cocaine here and there. I did a little bit of drinking here and there. I hooked up with a few girls here and there. I had all the fun. I was like the wolf of Mexico. I was the wolf of Mexico, and
The
and
wolf of
I was good. I
Mexico.
was good. I had a lot of fun. I wouldn't change it. I tried everything. Well, not everything, but things that I was into. So I did everything, and I had a lot of fun. So all of that it was a process, and I could have been dead a lot of times. I could have died from the crazy shit that I would do, but I think because I'm a giving and I'm a good-hearted person, and I like to give, then God wants me to be here and help more people and change lives, which is what I said about my Latino community that I'm very fond of. Like I want to change as many Latinos' lives as I can, and everybody else too. But I'm Latino, so I like my Latinos. I'm Mexican. I'm from Mexico City, and they call me the Mexican Prince of Bel Air.
I love it.
Yeah, and I know I get on the nerves of a lot of people, but hey, remember, if nobody hates you, then
Nobody pays you.
you're irrelevant. So if you guys want to come this Saturday and learn how we did all this, and instead of taking decades, it might take you a few years to accomplish. We want to give you all the how-tos, all the systems, all the processes. Come this Saturday, send me a DM or comment 5K Mastermind so that we can get you in. I'm only going to allow one person in. This is for somebody that's in business. Let me know. Comment, DM me 5K Mastermind, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye,
Next week will be in
guys.
Spanish, by the way.
Bye.
Later.